Please be seated, everyone. First, I'd like to begin by welcoming everyone and thanking each and every one of you for being here on this most happy of days. It's no accident that each of you are in attendance, and each of you were invited to be here because you represent someone very important in the individual and collective lives of Kris Johnson and Natalie Kris. I am sure that I speak for all of the guests when I say how excited we are to find ourselves at this beautiful venue for an occasion that I know is not only monumental for the wedded couple-to-be, but for all of us who are lucky to know and love them as individuals, but even more so as the perfect pairing. You know, the most remarkable moment in life is when you meet the person who makes you feel complete, the person who makes the world a beautiful and magical place, the person with whom you share a bond so special that it transcends normal relationships and becomes something so pure, so wonderful, that you can't imagine spending another day of your life without them. I know for Kris, this happened about 15 years ago when he met me, and we became best friends. A very close second, though, for Kris, would be about 4 years ago when he met Natalie, who is pretty wonderful as well. I know how deeply these two care for and love one another, and I feel privileged to be here today among all of you as a witness of their commitment to a lifetime of love for one another. I think I've had the good fortune to meet almost all of you in attendance at some point or another, but for those of you whom I haven't met, my name is Grant Freeman, and I am lucky enough to be one of Kris's bestest friends in the wide world, and someone who has hopefully grown on you a little bit as well over the course of time, which isn't easy. Before we dive into their love story, I wanted to share a piece of scripture about love and the importance and power of unity that especially resonates with Kris and Natalie. And I believe its relevance will become increasingly apparent as we move through this ceremony. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 through 12. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either one of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Now let's talk about the love story. Kris and Natalie have asked that I keep this speech short, classy, and mostly family friendly. They politely asked me to leave out stories that are unflattering to either of them, and those are bountiful. I promise to do my very best over the course of the next few minutes. But honestly, for those of you that are worried, don't, because I became a true man of God for this ceremony, refined and repentant. That's not funny. As a third-party spectator to their developing love, it was extremely clear that the two of them represent a perfect pairing because each of them complements the other so well. They balance one another, and while each of them are tremendous individuals on their own, together they are even better. And being better together as a team, a unit, and partners in crime is what has been many years in the making and ultimately leads us to being here today, witnessing their commitment to one another in front of those they love most. I wish I could tell you a single story about Kris and Natalie that summarizes their relationship and how they enrich each other's lives and the lives of each of us. But the truth is, there isn't one single event that is a good encapsulation of what they mean to me, to each other, and to all of us. But what I do know is that both of them care deeply and passionately for each other. They protect each other. They make each other laugh and think outside themselves. That time magically seems to both fly and slow down when they're together. They help each other in ways that are obvious and unnoticed, but never unappreciated. I had the opportunity to ask the bride and groom about the love they share and what qualities they see and feel in one another that have drawn them together and keep them so deeply connected as they journey through life. And I wanted to share some of those feelings with you. Now, both Kris and Nat, okay, it's a little not formal, okay, mentioned that they have a similar sense of humor, that's scary, outlook on life, and work ethic that made connecting on many levels seamless and natural. They love art, sports, attending events, and spending lots of simple time with family, all of which allowed for a firm foundation out of the gate. That also led to the birthing of many memories very quickly, drawing the couple closer and closer as time went by. I'm going to share some of Natalie's thoughts first. Natalie loves the fact that Kris has such a big heart. As she told me, and I quote, "If he loves you, you know it. He is affectionate and compassionate. He makes sure people in his life know they are valued, appreciated, and respected. He will go above and beyond to make sure his family has what they need and want, and know they will always be cared for." Natalie loves the fact that he is driven and that he is always striving to become the best version of himself as a father, son, business partner, friend, and husband. Natalie loves his patience. She loves and appreciates the fact that Kris manages to calmly navigate any issue she is facing and help her understand her thoughts or feelings and find a solution. Natalie said, and I quote, "He helps me to see the light at the end of the tunnel." When asked about Natalie, Kris spoke of her being selfless, a doer, and a giver, with a heart that is always looking out for the best interests of her family. Kris went on to share that in watching her engage with her closest friends, he learned quickly that she would do anything for them, no questions asked, and that her choice of friends was top-notch. He might just be saying that because some of you are here today. I don't know, but it seemed worthwhile to put in here. Kris then referred me to a movie quote from the movie As Good as It Gets, where Jack Nicholson says that, "She makes me want to be a better man." Most importantly in our exchange, Kris shared that through Natalie's engaging personality, smile, and guidance, she has helped him feel like someone again, and that he has become a better father, partner, and professional as a result. He did share that she is pretty easy on the eyes as well, but he asked me to leave that out, but I didn't. So, sorry. All right. Speaking personally, it doesn't matter if I'm with them in person or simply chatting over text with Kris. When I'm engaging with Kris and Natalie, I am always enjoying myself, and I am certain that's part of what makes them so special to each of us. How happy and contented we all feel when we are with them. And what I wish for them on their wedding day is that their lifetime together as a team is one of complete contentment, full of those moments that they wish would never end, and that they continue to make one another smile and laugh as much as they make each of us do. So without further ado, it is time for the vows. Dearly beloved and honored guests, we are gathered together here to join Kris and Natalie in the union of marriage. This contract is not to be entered into lightly, but thoughtfully and seriously, and with the deep realization of its obligations and responsibilities. The bride and groom have each prepared vows that they will read now, beginning with Natalie.
Okay. When I met you, I didn't know one person could embody so many things that I wanted from a partner. As we began to spend time together, I found myself wanting to tell you everything, sometimes too I wanted your input before making decisions. I wanted your guidance on challenges I was facing. And for the very first time, I found myself truly lucky. I wanted you by my side for everything. Didn't matter if we were going to an event or traveling or just watching hours of really old shows on Netflix. It was all better with you there. On the drives to your house, I would listen to the same songs that I always did, but the words seemed to have a much louder message. But as I found out later, thanks to Beckett, that's how you know you're in love. All the songs make sense. As this went on, I finally realized that this is a partnership. A person to share your life with, a person you trust with everything, a person you would do anything for, a person who makes you feel safe, a person who makes your life better in every single way. You are my person. Your love and affection makes me see the world in a brighter light. Your calm, steady, and patient demeanor allows me to fully be still. You understand me oftentimes more than I understand myself or what's going on in my head. Your kindness and support constantly lifts me up. Your positivity and encouragement makes me strive to be a better person for myself and the people that I love. With your compassion and commitment to our family, I know that we will have an extraordinary life together. I'm incredibly fortunate that you've chosen this partnership, and I promise I will not take it for granted. I promise to treat you with love and compassion as the person that you are today and the person that you grow up to be. I promise to keep myself open to your values, your ambitions, and your needs. I promise to be honest, communicative, and respectful. I promise to care for Gabe, Jake, and Ever, to always act with their best interest at heart and to continually make them know that they are the priority of our lives. I promise to help shoulder our challenges, celebrate our triumphs, to be open to new ventures. I promise to keep our marriage exciting and passionate. And I promise to always cheer for the Tigers.
Which one?
Love.
Chris?
Oh, I gotta follow up.
Yes. This is when you do yours, yes.
I don't have fancy cards.
Uh,
Make sure the font's big enough for all these tears. So first of all, breathtaking, just gorgeous. Now you're eloquent too, which is a bit of a problem. 5 years ago, I laid my head to sleep in a one-bedroom apartment, listening to 18-wheelers go by at 2 a.m. Like the wheels on those big rigs, my mind would spin with disillusionment at the prospects of losing my children, my job, my savings, my home. Facing down into reality, I often pondered who would ever get me. A father of 3 in a world in rebuilding, rediscovering, and reimagining. Aside from the sentiment, who could share my children the love they deserve as well? Did I even want to bring another person into their sphere of influence, or was it easier for all involved to just go it alone and maintain a straight face? You quickly became the only exception. 7 months into our relationship, while attending a concert, I shared with you some of my deepest concerns. You simply responded with, "I got you," and embraced me with a hug and a smile that put me at ease. 7 days ago, you texted me on the way home from my house, asking me if I wanted anything from Chick-fil-A, and I said, "A strawberry shake." You weren't shocked, but you did say, "I got you." Your kind soul, steady hand, lack of judgment, and vigor for life transformed me from broken to reassembled. I sleep comfortably every night with peace of mind that someone with your character has got me under all circumstances. From the highs of drinking margaritas at the beach to the mundane, such as a greeting as I walk through the door. Standing in front of you today, I can confidently say these kids have the support and guidance of the best person I know. And I make this vow to always get you in the same manner you have got me. 2 is 1, and 1 is none, and I'm forever yours to respect you, support you, and love you. Today, I got you from this moment to my last breath. Yeah. I'm supposed to be the one.
All right, and now, Kris, do you take Natalie to be your lawfully wedded wife, to live together in matrimony, to love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold from this day forward, as long as you both shall live? And Natalie, do you take Kris to be your lawfully wedded husband, to live together in matrimony, to love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, in sorrow and in joy, to have and to hold from this day forward, as long as you both shall live?
I do.
Next are the rings. Kris and Natalie will now exchange rings as a symbol of love and commitment to each other. Rings are a precious metal. They are also made precious by you wearing them. Your wedding rings are special. They enhance who you are. They mark the beginning of your long journey together. Your wedding ring is a circle, a symbol of love never ending. It is the seal of the vows you have just taken to love each other without end. So first, Kris, would you please place the ring on Natalie's left hand and repeat after me? As a sign of my love,
As a sign of my love,
that I have chosen you,
that I have chosen you,
above all else,
above all else,
with this ring,
with this ring,
I thee wed.
I be wed.
Natalie, would you please place this ring on Kris's left hand and repeat after me? As a sign of my love,
As a sign of my love,
that I have chosen you,
I have chosen you
above all else,
above all else.
with this ring,
With this ring,
I thee wed.
I swear.
To make your relationship work will take love. Continue to date each other. Take time to show each other that your love and marriage grows stronger over time. It will take trust to know that in your hearts you truly want what is best for each other. It will take dedication to stay open to one another and to learn and grow together. It will take loyalty to go forward together without knowing exactly what the future brings. And it will take commitment to hold true to the journey you have both pledged today. And now, by the power vested in me by the state of Georgia and the Lord our God, it is my honor and delight to declare you married. Go forth and live each day to the fullest. You may now seal this declaration with a kiss. I am so pleased to present the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson.